Well, it's an exciting day. We're celebrating both 50 years of women's basketball and 20 years from our Sweet 16 experience. And so pleased with overall team effort today. I think we shared the ball. I think they had 18 assists and played great team defense. Um, it was a total team um, exhibition, really, because I think our bench scored 42 points of our 83, and so pleased with how the team was prepared. I think my coaching staff was right on point. It's probably our best performance we've had, complete performance all year, and as you're getting into tournament plays not too far away, you're trying to finish up conference play. You certainly want to establish home victories because it's definitely hard on the road. It's just brutal when you travel. So well pleased with overall effort of the entire team and their preparation for this game.
Questions for Coach?
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
I would like to ask, I just interviewed Avery Mills, who's obviously a freshman, and she's playing on the same court as your redshirt senior, Bella Smuda. How are you bringing these girls together? How are you having good team chemistry? How are these girls being able to play well together cohesively as a team?
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to what we're doing during the summer, is trying to build a culture. And first of all, this team is very close. We got some great leadership throughout the team, and you just picked on right then. You said Bella Samuda and Avery Mills. They happen to be daughters of pastors, so their commitments are so deep and true to the Lord, their Savior, and how they need to share that love with everyone. And those are two great leaders and two great players, and they're not the only ones on their team as well. But it's not necessarily Coach Green putting this and this together. It's giving them time to grow and mentoring them, being a shepherd to them. And we have the campus shepherd office. We have someone working with them there and doing their devotionals and keeping them growing. And we just work pretty hard in basketball, and that's sort of a side gig of just growing in their faith, and they love each other. So they're easy to work with and easy to love.
That's so good to hear. You said they've been practicing since summer. Obviously, y'all are quite a few games into your season right now. How are you combating as a team, just player burnout almost? Just how are you keeping that energy going to further yourself into the season?
Well, I've got a good coaching staff, and that includes the analytics, the data from their performance and their workloads. So we're trying to keep them from reaching that point of I'm just totally exhausted. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Aura rings. You may even seen that commercial on TV. We monitor the recovery ability, which that particular tool helps out in sleep patterns, which can be impacted by travel and their class schedule and papers to turn in. And so it's complex thing to work with, and yet, it's in some ways it makes coaching with science easier. It's no guessing game. So sometimes there is some part that's straight from the gut, but when you have some science, it helps out. But we just try to monitor every little thing, and that'll be a challenge. There's no question. I mean, we're playing This particular game, we played pretty good. We want to play that good in March. So we still have, a full month before, and there'll be those challenges. And coming off a brutal road trip, and even not having our point guard, Jordan Hodges, was sick. We had Claudia and Anna step up at the point guard position. I thought they did an excellent job today.
Going back to what you were saying just about team chemistry and how these women, especially their faith, is what's bringing them together. Liberty University is, of course, known for being a Christian college, and as believers, we're asked to be set apart. How do you think your ladies are almost set apart from this league? How do you think they excel in not only showing their love for Christ, but how do they are set apart on the court? Are they showing their skills, basically?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I really think their identity is in the faith. Okay, they just happen to play basketball, and I'll have to use Luke 2:52. When you look that up, Dr. Luke was writing about Jesus and his typical youth and growth, and it's no different than our girls are today. And in that particular verse, it says that Jesus grew in stature, so we're going to work them and make them stronger. And he grew in knowledge. They're getting that free education, and they're growing in the game, but growing in their faith and growing in a subject matter. And it says in favor with man, so they're learning to work with each other with different type of personalities, and then even outside of that in the community. And then it says, in favor of God. So if they hit that, to answer your question, if they hit that bullseye, they're going to be the best they can be on the basketball court, in practice, in the classroom, and socially, and they're going to be hungry for the word and continue to grow. So that just sets the groundwork for them to be a pretty good basketball player. It doesn't mean they're going to win every game, but that's where we're at right now, and we continue to grow. And unfortunately, with loss of not having Jordan Hodges today, losing 2 players to ACLs within a week, we're down to like 10 players or 11 players. So we're pretty well drilled into 5-on-5 and deep at every position, 2 people deep.
Heading back to more game-related questions, FIU had the lead there for about 2 minutes.
Yep.
In those very short 2 minutes, what are you saying to the girls? How are you keeping them in a good headspace to pull ahead and get the lead back?
I really didn't say anything. You'd have a tendency to try to take credit, I think we started very well. I think we hit a 3 and a 2, and we were 5 points there, and we got hung on 7 points for a while, and that's when they took the lead. They're a good team, and we expected them to really battle, and it just part of the game, the ebbs and flows, the runs, and we ran really well, played very well early, and then they outplayed us to take the lead, and then we separated there at the end of the quarter, and continued to understand it's going to be a battle. It's not going to be this easy. So I can't take any credit for coming up with a new play or some wise words of wisdom. No, they're trained to stay in a battle.
Good, thank you. I asked Ms. Mills this question as well. What do you think were the ingredients to your victory today? What were some things you think contributed? Do you think it was the athlete's headspace, the certain plays, rebounding? What is the ingredient you're going to take into your next game to win?
Yeah, I think our focus was to rebound and box out and play positional defense, keep them in front of us, and make sure we box them out, because they're extremely very good rebounding team. Usually I think they out rebound their team by eight per game. So we focused on what they do very well and try to take that away, and also positional. They like to score a lot of points off of transition, so we got back on defense quite a bit and kept them in front of us. So those are two factors, and we played together. It wasn't just like three of them did it, or the starting five did, but the entire team, because again, our bench scored 42 and our starters scored 41, and our bench outscored their bench. I think it's probably there, was it 42 to 10? Something like that in there. So keeping players fresh and having that depth really helped out a lot.
Lastly, are there any players you think did exceptionally well today, who just went above and beyond?
Wow. There's so many of them had their shining moments. For example, Bella's numbers were not, glaring like she had a double-double, but she's right there, and there's things that you don't even see that fall on the stat line. I mean, she was battling a very good ball player inside, and Emmy Stout played very good, even though she fouled out, but she was battling that same post player inside. I think you have to say something about Claudia and Anna stepping in, this is a first start for Anna. And Claudia, I don't remember their minutes played, but they almost split equally. And Claudia, I'm going to argue with the stat people. I don't think she got an assist on that skip pass all the way across for a three. And I minded, do you remember what I'm talking about? Right from her bench. So I'm thinking that they may have had, I don't know if they had a turnover, did they? I gave my stat line away, so I don't know. But there are so many. Ping had her shining moments. Did she get in double figures?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And man, it's hard. There's so many of them. I think they all have played a really good game. I don't know if somebody had a bad game, but I'm sorry. I'm so grateful and joyful that we won this game and did it in a good defensive way.